at the foot of the Blue Mountains for the International Regatta and the World Cup on Sunday. And we're about to see the open lightweight women's quad sculls final. Seen some fantastic rowing so far. In lane 2, it will be Huon Composite A&A in lane 3. GMS Rowing Composite in lane 4. They are an American club crew. Team Korea in lane 5. Vietnam in 6. In lane 7, the Western Australian Rowing Club Composite. And in lane 8, Melbourne University Composite. And you'd have to think that, well, it's a little bit hard to read this one, but A&A, very strong. Huon, the Western Australian Rowing Club Composite, and also Melbourne University with Monica McGorran in the stroke seat with Peter Koopsis, the coach. And right across the course, near perfect conditions for the start.
Yes, and lightweight rowing is particularly interesting because it's said to be the most, level playing field of any of the events, because of course all of the rowers must weigh in between 1 and 2 hours before their race, and they have to come in at a crew average of 57 kilos for the women. So very light. So it's all about strength and fitness and agility as opposed to brute force or brute power. So it does make it a very even playing field for these boats.
And there have been a couple of changes too. Hannah Jansen is out of the A&A combination, I noticed there, with Emma Jones taking her place. And Hannah, a very experienced rower. She has battled arthritis over the years, but she was in the lightweight single sculls at the under-23s too. In the senior national team last year, she has been ruled out of the bow seat of A&A, a Western Australian composite. So Emma Jones, as you can see on the screen, has taken her place. And we have had a couple of changes too through the course of the afternoon because of illness and injury. It has been a long week. We've got GMS Rowing Composite in lane 4, and they are very much an American combination with Louisa Maldonado and Sarah Giancola, alongside her Cornelia Willis and Michaela Copenhaver. And I can tell you that Sarah Giancola, she was at Melbourne Uni on a gap year and has brought a couple of her club mates from California across to compete in lane 4 for GMS Rowing Composite. Team Korea in lane 5. And of course Harold Yarling, Gordon Marks, Brian Richardson, a number of Australian coaches have had an input into Korean rowing over the last 5 years.
And I think that's really great to see the build-up of the Korean team, particularly since they're hosting the World Championships later in the year. So I know many rowers are looking forward to going over and competing in Korea for the first time.
And so the Western Australian Rowing Club Composite in lane 7, alongside them in 6, Vietnam.
Melbourne University.
Amy Walters, Crystal Ryan, Emma Molinar and Sally Medhurst in the Western Australian crew. And there we have it, Melbourne University in lane 8. And we are away in the open lightweight women's quad sculls final. And across the course in lane 2, the top of the screen, it is the Huon Composite, A&A in lane 3. In lane 4, GMS Rowing Composite. In lane 5, Team Korea. Lane 6, Vietnam. In 7, it is the Western Australian Rowing Club Composite. And in lane 8, Melbourne University Composite. And in the centre of the course, with a very high stroke rate early in this particular race, is Team Korea and their stroke, Yoi Park, 21 years of age, really pushing her crew out hard early in this race. And on the far side of the course, the Huon Composite with Eve Muir from the Huon Club pushing her crew strongly as well. So at the moment, it is Korea from Huon Composite early in this race, and a pretty good combination too from this Team Korea. They won their heat from GMS Rowing, and they won it by about 5 seconds, so they might be a crew to watch in the future.
Yes, it is Team Vietnam.
Yes.
They've pushed out to an early lead now. They've really carried that start out well. The aim is not to do sort of 10, 20 strokes really hard and then drop off into a mid-race pace, but to really fly out and then hold that rhythm for as long as you can and then transition into your race pace a little bit later around the 400 or 500 metre mark. So that's really what they've done. They've taken this by the scruff of the neck and they're really going for it. But right up there is that Huon Composite crew. Great job from the girls from Tassie over there.
So Vietnam currently in first place, and Joe Donnelly has had a role in coaching this crew, an Australian. And Vietnam, their stroke is Tai Pan. Average age of this crew is 23 years of age, and we can see the Huon Composite on the far side of the course really pushing up on Vietnam as they move through 500 metres. And it is Vietnam from the Huon Composite, a little bit of battle for the minor placings at the moment, but I wonder how long they can maintain this very high stroke rate, Vietnam. Team Korea just moving up as well. They're currently in 4th, possibly 5th position, and they're a great shot of Vietnam and the bow seat moving in synergy. The stroke is looking good as well. And you can say to yourself, well, you know, how long can they maintain it? But they've done pretty well so far. But we see on the far side of the course this Hewen composite combination: Eve Muir, Laura Dunn, Alexandra Hayes and Joanna Wood moving up nicely. A couple of under 23 rowers in this crew, and they've just moved past Team Vietnam, and they lead by about a canvas at this stage, almost up to the halfway point of the race. This is the open lightweight women's quad sculls, 750 metres gone so far. And Vietnam have just been passed, and I suspect that they might fall into a little bit of a hole here because they went out so quickly. And the Hewen composite, coached by Chris Holliday, Paul Newman and Ellen Randell, has had a role too in preparing this crew.
Yes, it seems that this Vietnamese crew has gone out awfully hard, but they've failed to transition into a really strong race pace, whereas you look across to the Hewen crew and you can see how strong and how dominant their stroke looks. Very relaxed, very loose through the arms and rowing a nice long rhythm, and that's what it's all about. That's how you get boat speed. Whereas the Vietnamese crew just a little bit inefficient in what they're doing at this point, and you can see the rest of the field starting to peg them back as Alex Hayes leads this crew into a very strong position over in lane 2 for Hewen. But I think these guys will be the crew to beat as we come to the halfway mark. They've almost come out to almost a length lead now.
And it is the Hewen composite leading through the halfway point in the race. They lead by 3/4 of a boat length. In second place now, it is ANA from Western Australia, Sian Flynn, Helen O'Keefe, Jessica Bauer and Emma Jones coming along nicely here. And the Vietnamese combination, which led through 750 metres, have dropped back to 5th position, and it is very much the Hewen composite in lane 2, currently leading by about a boat length from the rest of the field.
And they're very experienced girls in that Hewen crew. Alex Hayes is a multiple Australian representative in lightweight rowing, and she's a very, very decorated rower, and she's doing a fantastic job. They're stroking, just keeping these girls in a great rhythm. They're just ticking it along, doing what they need to do. It looks very impressive, very relaxed from the outside, but as I mentioned earlier, you can bet in this third 500 that they're absolutely starting to hurt right about now.
And we can see a little bit of movement here. In lane 3, it is ANA from Western Australia, and it is 3/4 of a boat length now. The Hewen composite currently leading. Team Korea also making a little bit of movement through the centre of the course in lane 5, and they will be competing as a quad in the World Cup later in the weekend. But it's now half a boat length, and again we can see that ANA composite just move up on Hewen on the outside of the course. It's Hewen currently leading by half a boat length. In second place, it is the crew from ANA, and ANA with every stroke almost making up a little bit of distance on Hewen on the outside of the course. Hewen in lane 2, and in lane 3 right alongside them is ANA, and moving up on the centre of the course is Team Korea as well.
And the Vietnamese, you can see now, have absolutely dropped off the back of the field, and that's what happens. You put too much out too early without a good transition into race pace, and it kills you in the third 500 of that race, and that's what we can see has happened to Team Vietnam. But it's going the way of the Hewen crew at the moment, but certainly a lot of pressure coming from Team Korea and ANA.
Less than 500 metres to go. This is going to be a race to the finish between the Hewen composite and ANA, and into the centre of the course it's Team Korea. But in lane 2, the Hewen composite currently leading by about 1/4 of a boat length at this stage from ANA, still making up distance on the Hewen composite, and then Team Korea in the centre of the course currently in 3rd position in lane 5, but by a canvas it is still the Hewen composite on the outside of the course. This Tasmanian combination continues to lead by a canvas, but here comes ANA on the inside of the course. This is a match race to the finish. Hewen on the outside of the course, currently leading by half a canvas now. It's ANA in second place.
And such a brave move by Hewen to take that lead early on. They really put it out there. They took the risk, and it doesn't seem to have paid off for them. ANA is absolutely storming through at this point.
Sian Flynn, Helen O'Keefe, Jessica Bauer and Emma Jones from ANA just moving up again on Hewen on the outside of the course. Hewen hanging on for dear life. Muir, Dunn, Hayes and Wood. Can they hold them to the finish line? At the moment though, it would appear as though ANA is coming home the stronger on the inside of the course, but they've found something in reserve. Hewen, they're coming again. They lead by a canvas now. They've stretched their lead, and here they come to the finish line. Only about 25 metres to go. Hewen on the inside of the course, ANA on the inside as well as they come towards the finish line, and they'll hold on to win. Hewen, what a great race in the end. For the last 500 metres, it was a match race between Hewen and ANA, and Hewen has just held on to win from ANA in second place, and Team Korea crossed the line in third. That was a good effort from them. And here come the Vietnamese, who led early, and they crossed the line now. Well, that was an effort from them too. The Koreans led through 750 metres, just couldn't hold on. They went out quickly, probably too quickly in the end, and used up all of their reserves through the first 750, and then found it very hard to hold on. But Hewen holding on to win from ANA, and they are absolutely spent. As we see the start again, and that Vietnamese combination going out very, very quickly. And they got off to a flying start. You can see Hewen at the top of the screen. They went out as well alongside the Vietnamese, but it was very much Vietnam early in the race. They couldn't hold on though, and as we see there in lane 2, the Hewen composite just grabbing the lead, and the piano fell on the Vietnamese combination, and they almost stopped there, didn't they? They found it very hard to maintain that very high stroke rate they had through the first 750 metres.
So brave here with the Hewen girls to dig in and just hang on by the skin of their teeth in that last 100 metres. I mean, that hurts. That really hurts to have to go again like that, but they did it and they took the win. Very impressive. And
you could see the toll it taken on those rowers too, because they had to hold on, didn't they? I mean, for this festival of rowing, World Cup on Sunday, and we're currently seeing a lot of the open finals now. We've just seen the open lightweight men's quad sculls, which was a terrific victory by Sydney, and we're seeing some presentations now. We have seen the open lightweight women's quad sculls just a moment ago as well. Some terrific races. Alongside me, Sarah Cook.
Yes, here we have the presentation of the open women's lightweight quad. There's Korea in their fluoro yellow hats, and the gold medal winners were Hewen from Tasmania, and the medals for this event are being presented by Colin Smith, the president of Rowing Australia.
Yes, this Hewen composite, the stroke Ed Buer, Laura Dunn from UTS, Alexandra Hayes. Alexandra won gold in the lightweight fours at the World Under-23s last year, and in the barrel seat, Joanna Wood, also an Under-23 rower. So very good victory that for Hewen, and they beat Team Korea. And so that is the medal presentation there for the